What's up, YouTube? Your boy Glenn back with Big Jack, back with another episode of the Fade YouTube Sports Betting Podcast. Another episode of the best bets of the NFL weekend. Last week, Jack continues his hot streak, goes 2-1, doesn't get quite the 3-0. I go 1-2, brings our records to 16-14 on the season for Big Jack, and 13-17 for myself. Obviously looking to improve that number for myself, but Jack, you got to be feeling good. You got a pretty strong record, especially over the most recent 3 or 4 weeks.
Definitely. After the start of the season, feeling pretty good about where I'm at. I mean, we've talked about it in the past. You kind of got to be at least at that 52% clip to be profitable. If you're making any sort of real headway, you want to be north of 55%. So getting there slowly but surely, still not great, but yeah, like you said, tough start and have sort of rolled solidly with some 2-1s, 3-0. This week, if you had told me that Packers defense was going to hold Philly to 10 points, I probably would have really liked my chances to slap another 3-0 on the board. But 2-1, we'll take it, keep it moving, and yeah, just gotta find those winners week in and week out. Because at 16-14, you're one bad week away from 16-17.
No doubt about it. We gotta buckle in, tie our boots, and find a way to get another winner, if you will. You want to keep riding the me go first train, or you want to switch things up and go first this week?
I'm cool either way, man. You tell me. I'm ready to rip. I'm not superstitious, baby. I'm a little stitious.
I feel like it's been good, so I'm just gonna keep rolling, even though I did go 1-2 last week. I got a couple over and unders this week. I've kind of been staying away from them, been going more of one side or the other. But this week I got 2 over-under situations. I'm going to get it started with one of them. There was 2 games last week where 2 teams just put up big numbers. Their offenses look like absolute juggernauts, and they're playing each other this week. It's a divisional game, NFC West game. I like the under in the Seattle Seahawks LA Rams game. I see it right now at 48.5. It's a lot of points. I could see it. They are 2 potent offense right now, but I could see it being a classic NFC West battle. It's 2 teams that are battling for the top spot in that division. I just think 48.5 is too many points in a game like that. Give me that under that 48.5 number to start the week.
Love the angle there. I'm not an over-under connoisseur by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't have a ton of thoughts or opinions to really tack on beyond, like you said, it's a huge matchup for that division. I do think in those types of bouts, it does seem to have a tendency to be rather cagey early on. Teams not wanting to go too crazy in the first quarter and a half or so before that scoreboard starts to light up a little bit. So yeah, I think that could play well in your favor. And it's just honestly, it's just 2 really good defenses at the end of the day, 2 of the best in the league. So obviously they're humming on the offensive side of the ball, but when you get defenses like that together in a divisional matchup, I think I could definitely see it trending towards that under there. My first pick of the week, I'm going to go to a team I had probably my biggest no sweat of the year on last week. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're laying almost a touchdown at home. It's 5.5. I think they bounce back. I think they're ready to go. We have said in the past how with this extended season now in the 17th, some of these teams, man, you used to always feel like by Halloween, that's when teams really started to kind of turn it on and, ramp it up. Now it seems to be more closer to like Thanksgiving when folks really start to dial it in. I think the Bills are in that territory. They're going to be hungry off a bad loss. The Bucs will be too. They just lost to the Patriots. But I think the Bills go home. I think they, reconvene, get it together, come out and put an ass whooping on Tampa Bay on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, they are at home, but it is a big number. So I think that leans to the thought process of taking the Bills, to be honest. I like the side that you're on there. I'm not on that game, but if I was, I'd either be looking at the over for the total of 48.5, or I'd be looking at Buffalo minus 5.5. My second pick of the week, I'm going to go to that other over-under I'm on. Packers offense looks terrible on Monday night. Giants got Jameis Winston going in. I'm going to go over the total in that game. It's 43.5. I think there's no way this game goes under 44 points here. Over 43.5. I think Jameis, he's going to make some mistakes. Does that maybe even lead to a couple easy Packer quick scores? Who knows? But he's going to be able to throw for a lot of yards too, I think. He's just one of those kinds of quarterbacks. Even though the Green Bay defense is pretty good, I think New York will be able to move the ball, score some points. I think the Packers probably win the game, but I'm going to go over the 43.5 in that game.
Yeah, I could dig it. Honestly, I think that the Packers will don't need to get in the weeds about the Bears game, but I think that the Packers will do what I was a little frustrated by the Bears' lack of willingness to do on Sunday against the Giants, and I could see them sticking to that run game. I see Josh Jacobs going crazy against the Giants, and to your point about Jameis Winston, he can do some good things for both teams. So yeah, that's a solid one there. I dig that. It's crazy that you're on 2 over-unders though. This guy's got
it's a great board for watching this weekend, but I had a really tough time picking the lines. Those guys in Vegas, they're good. They're good.
Yeah, there's a reason they got all those buildings going on, my man. I'm gonna go to a divisional game here. Maybe I'm just stuck in the past with some of these teams. Maybe I just have too much belief in sort of what has proven to be the cream of the crop the last handful of years. But I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs -3.5 on the road against the Denver Broncos. I think they roll into Mile High, take care of business. The way that this season's sort of laid out now for the Chiefs, wild card wise, they lost to the Bills. So the Bills are behind the Patriots. So the Bills kind of are holding on to a wild card spot. They lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, also holding on to a wild card spot. So 2 of the teams that they're chasing, if they don't end up winning the division, which they're already behind the Broncos, they're already behind the Chargers, who they lost to head-to-head. Realistically, for them to get over the hump to win the division is probably quite a bit of a long shot. And 2 of the teams that are in contention for those wild card spots, they have losses to straight up for any sort of tiebreaker. They don't have any room for error. They know that. I think they kick it into gear. I think they roll into Denver, take care of business. I do not think that Denver is nearly as good as their 8-2 record says they are. I like that defense a lot. How could you not? But I do think they're still hurting without Surtain a little bit. I think the Chiefs are able to score some points, get it done. I like them to win that game by double digits, so I'll take the 3.5.
I like every single one of your points. The only thing that worries me at all is I feel, and I could be wrong, I don't have any stats in front of me, but I feel like the Denver offense is notably better at home than they are on the road, and I could be wrong, but it's the only thing that worries me at all. Kansas City, I think when they're on their game, they're still as good as anybody. And like you said, they know that they got to get a win here. So I like your thought process there, Jack. So much I kind of want to take it, but I'm not going to take it. My third and final pick this week, I've gone against this team 4 times this year, and it's been pretty good for me. I'm going to back the Dallas Cowboys this week, -3.5 at Las Vegas. I think it's just outside that 3 number. I think they want people to take Vegas, hoping that they're covering that 3-point spread. Last time people saw the Cowboys, they laid a stinker, but they're off the bye. I like the Cowboys to go out, win pretty comfortably. I'm not going to say double digits, but I think they got no problem covering that 3.5-point spread. Cowboys -3.5 is my last pick.
I'll be honest, I was sort of eyeing that game. I eventually steered away from it because I was too much of a coward to potentially get burned on Monday night and back-to-back weeks. I did like the Vegas side. I did like the Raiders. I think that defense showed a little something in that Thursday night game. But, I'm not on it. I didn't have enough conviction to get there, and you did with the Cowboys. So, I hope that your side is the appropriate one there. My last game, it's been kind of a struggle, to find what I really want to go with. I'm just gonna fucking rip it, man. I'm taking the Tennessee Titans +6.5. They're terrible. They're literally on an all-time bad run against the spread. I think it's the worst run dating back to the start of last season against the spread since the early 70s. They lose every week. They never cover. They're a complete disaster. And I don't know. Why was anyone giving them less than a touchdown? The Texans just had a wild ride comeback with Davis Mills under center at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Crazy game. You were on it. Big hit for you. Great play.
I needed it.
Yeah, that was nice. I don't know. I just think it's a crazy emotional win. I don't think they're going to lose the game outright, but I'm hoping it's enough of a let-down spot. Tennessee still competing at home. A lot of guys fighting for a spot for their future. Maybe Cam Ward has a decent game there with, seems like they're getting DK involved quite a bit now. I don't know. I just like the Titans to find a way. I think everyone looks at that and sees Texans win by a touchdown is easy money, and I'm going to take my chances that it flips to the other side.
I like your last point that you made there. Is just that everybody sees Texans minus 6.5. Why wouldn't you take that? But, man, I would be lying to you if I said I felt good about that pick. But I'll be on it because I back all your picks. But all right, quick recap for everybody at home. I am on the over in the Green Bay New York Giants game. I am on the under in the Seattle Seahawks Los Angeles Rams game. Over 43.5, under 48.5. And then on Dallas minus 3.5 at Las Vegas. Jack is on the Buffalo Bills minus 5.5 versus Tampa. Kansas City Chiefs minus 3.5 at Denver, and Texans plus 6.5 versus, the Tennessee Titans plus 6.5 versus the Houston Texans. That is the recap. Jack, let's go out, find a way to hit another parlay. That'd be huge for my bank account and great for the channel. Shout out to the new subs out there. I see you guys. If you're new here, like and subscribe, hit the bell. We come every week with these best bets of the weekend video, and anytime the Bears play, we got a little preview as well. Jack, any last words?
No, man. Our production is sort of slapped this year, but something's going on with my my camera right now. I feel like I'm fucking glowing through the screen. Hopefully that's a good sign for us. It's like the Angels in the outfield, baby. We're getting a little massage, ready for a big 6-0 week. Smack that parlay. Come on, baby. One time.
I don't see any way you lose.
Bears.